Hello, and welcome to a slightly different presentation inspired by Black History Month on diversity in research. Does skin color matter? In atopic dermatitis, skin color really does matter. Atopic dermatitis is a condition where the skin becomes dry, itchy, and cracked. It's also called atopic eczema, and atopic means that it is due to an allergic reaction. The condition flares up and calms down over time, and its severity is diagnosed using criteria such as the redness of the skin. Redness is harder to see on darker skin, making diagnosis and assessment of severity harder for people of Black or minority ethnic heritage. This has been considered though, and there is a specific tool for diagnosing atopic dermatitis for people with darker skin, and this should be used in clinical practice and research. So what is the problem? As it is harder to see the condition on darker skin, even with a specific diagnostic tool, there can be delays in diagnosis that mean that Black people are only treated when their condition is worse than in white people. At CRD, we recently assessed a series of trials of a treatment for severe atopic dermatitis, and we noticed that they recruited few or no Black people, despite the fact that atopic dermatitis affects more Black people than white people. Why is this important? If new treatments are not tested on darker skin, how do we know that they will work for all patients? There may be hereditary differences in the way that skin responds to a treatment. There appear to be differences in the skin proteins between Asians and Americans, and some treatments target these types of proteins, so it's not unreasonable to think that these treatments might work differently for people from ethnic minorities, meaning that people from ethnic minorities may be prescribed treatments that don't work for them. So what can we do and what should we do about this? First, we need to understand why there are so few Black people in these trials. Is it because they're not being asked to take part, or are they being excluded either by restrictive inclusion criteria or by not making it possible for them to volunteer? Quite a lot of research has been conducted, including systematic reviews where researchers gather the evidence, assess its quality, and combine it to make it stronger. The reasons that patients give for taking part and not taking part are similar: trust or lack of trust, clarity of the research, and the costs to the participant or the benefits to others. This research has concentrated on the reasons why patients do or do not take part, rather than what researchers do or not do to recruit people. For instance, it may be that trialists in atopic dermatitis are not using the diagnostic tool for darker skin, so they are unintentionally excluding these patients. Researchers need to address these barriers to make participation accessible to all and to consider everything that they can do to improve inclusion in trial recruitment. This is not a new issue. In America, a law was introduced in 1993 that stated that people from ethnic minorities had to be included in all government-funded research. As this only applies to NIH-funded research in America, company-funded trials and trials in other countries still do not have to include people from ethnic minorities, and most trials or new treatments are funded by their commercial developers. In the UK, work is being conducted. The Include project, funded by the NIHR, published guidance in 2020, and in August this year, 2022, TrialForge published a document with 4 recommendations. 1, to ensure that the eligibility criteria and recruitment do not limit inclusion. 2, that trial materials consider inclusion. 3, that trial staff are culturally aware and competent. And 4, to build trust with organisations that work with minority groups. What more can we do? We can set targets for recruitment of patients from minority communities. Those who approve treatments, such as drug regulators or reimbursement agencies, can highlight the need for more information about patients from ethnic minorities and set standards for companies doing research. We can highlight where more research is needed. We can work with people from minority communities to build trust and understand the issues and resolve them. In June 2022, University College London Hospitals announced that they are working with Roche, a drug manufacturer, to investigate the reasons why patients from ethnic minorities are not represented in research into breast cancer, Alzheimer's disease, rheumatology, and stroke. This study should be completed in 2024. Intersectionality is where features that put people at a disadvantage compared with the majority combine. If women are underrepresented in research and Black people are underrepresented, Black women may be even less represented than you might predict from their membership of both groups, or they may be affected in new ways beyond those of each group. While it is important to consider this in research, as the size of the population becomes smaller, it may not be possible to investigate all intersections. This issue of lack of representation in research has been around for well over 30 years. Some progress has been made, such as regulations for US research and a tool for assessment on darker skin, but the issue remains in many trials. As systematic reviewers, we can point out gaps in the evidence and we can challenge trialists to fill these gaps. Most importantly, we all need to work together to make this problem history. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.